If you live in New Jersey, you already know the deal. You're not leaving. Your whole life is here. Your family's here. And there's a pizzeria that would notice if you died. The problem is staying here is getting insane. You open Zillow just to see what's on the market and your soul leaves your body through your nose. The average house is over $500,000. Your property taxes are a second mortgage you pay to a town hall full of people who hate you. And somewhere a guy in Short Hills just bought a belt that costs more than your car. So the real question becomes where in Jersey you can actually afford to stay. So today we're doing the impossible. We're finding the cheapest towns in New Jersey to actually live in. But, and this is the important part, towns that aren't complete poverty-stricken hellholes. Because cheap in New Jersey usually comes in two flavors. Flavor one is the crime-ridden inner city where the house is 90 grand and so is your annual car insurance premium because someone is going to relocate your Honda to a chop shop in the next 18 months. Flavor two is so far out in the sticks that your nearest neighbor is a man named Earl who communicates exclusively through his dog, and the closest restaurant is a gas station that also sells live bait. We're not doing either of those. We're doing affordable and safe, and you can still get a coffee without booking a flight. And I'll be honest with you, this is mostly going to be a South Jersey list, because in North Jersey, finding affordable and safe is like finding Bigfoot. People claim they've seen it, there's some blurry footage, but nobody can actually confirm it. Up north, your options are basically pay $1 million or Newark. South Jersey is where the normal people who still want a porch went to survive. So that's where we're going, mostly. We'll start near the shore in Egg Harbor Township, an Atlantic County town with a median home price around $350,000. Everybody here's near the shore and assumes there's no way it's affordable, because the shore is where Jersey keeps its most aggressively overpriced real estate. Little beach shacks going for $2 million because they're technically within smelling distance of the ocean. Egg Harbor Township is the move for the people who want to be near the beach but aren't insane enough to buy a house on a flood-prone barrier island that the Atlantic Ocean is actively trying to repossess. This is the practical big suburb pick. It's roomy, it spreads out, it's got the strip malls and the restaurants and the room to breathe, and it's on the mainland, which means when the next big storm rolls through, the ocean is somebody else's problem. It's not the most interesting town in the world, but with places like Margate and Atlantic City nearby, it doesn't need to be. It's a smart, safe, spacious base near everything the shore region offers at a price the actual beach towns would laugh at. You're getting the location without the bill. That's the whole shore-adjacent grift, and Egg Harbor does it best. Next up, Audubon in Camden County, around $334,000 median home prices. This is a town I genuinely think is a steal. Audubon is a charming little borough, small, tight. The houses are close together in that classic old streetcar suburb way where you can borrow stuff from your neighbors without putting on shoes. It's safe. It's got a real sense of community, the kind of place where people actually know their neighbors instead of just nodding at them through a Ring doorbell. Audubon also has Patco, the high-speed line that runs straight into Center City, Philadelphia. We're talking a clean, fast train that drops you in downtown Philly in like 15-20 minutes. So you live in a quiet, affordable, safe little Jersey borough for $300,000, and you commute into a major American city faster and cheaper than people who paid triple to live in the suburbs of that city. The Philadelphia transplants haven't fully figured this out yet, and honestly, let's keep it between us. The great commute low price combo is the rarest thing in real estate, and Audubon's just sitting there with it. Now, let's head up north and hit Washington Borough in Warren County, where the median home is under $300,000. I know. I said this was a South Jersey list, and it mostly is. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend the entire northwest corner of the state doesn't exist just to keep my own theme tidy. That'd be dishonest. Washington Borough is the northern charmer, and it's the pattern interrupt. way out in rural northwest Jersey, surrounded by actual farmland and rolling hills and the kind of scenery that North Jersey forgot it had, there is a walkable little county seat town with a real main street for under $300,000. Under $3. In North Jersey. I had to read it twice too. The reason this exists is simple. It's pretty far out there. It's not a commuter town to New York. It's not feeding the Manhattan machine, so the prices never got their faces ripped off by hedge fund money. What you get instead is a quiet, pretty, self-contained little town with a downtown you can actually walk, where the cost of living is from a different decade. If you don't need to be in the city every day and you want the North Jersey scenery without the North Jersey crime against your bank account, Washington Borough is hiding in plain sight. Most people in this state don't even know it's there. That's exactly why it's cheap. Next, Woodbury in Gloucester County, around $318,000. Woodbury is the county seat of Gloucester County, which is a fancy way of saying this is where the important government buildings are, which is a fancy way of saying this is where you go to fight a parking ticket and lose. But the upside of being a county seat is that these towns were built back when people actually cared what a street looked like. Broad Street in Woodbury is the spine, and it's walkable. It's got real width. It's got these gorgeous old Victorian homes lining the side streets that would cost you $1 million and your firstborn if you picked them up and dropped them an hour north. Big wraparound porches, the turrets, the whole, there's a portrait inside whose eyes follow you kind of energy. And here it's $300,000. You're buying actual history, actual craftsmanship, a house with bones for the price of a one-bedroom condo in a town where the only landmark is a Wawa. Is Woodbury flashy? No, Woodbury is not trying to impress you. Woodbury already raised 4 kids and put them all through Rowan, and it's tired. But it's solid, it's got character, and you can afford it. That's the whole pitch, and it's a good one. Now, Clayton, also Gloucester County, around $349,000. Clayton is the family pick. This is the one where you actually move when you have a couple kids and you've accepted that your weekends now belong to youth soccer forever. This place is quiet in the way that's actually a feature and not a warning sign. There are parks everywhere. There's a lake. There are fields. There is an aggressive amount of grass. It's the kind of town where the biggest controversy of the year is whether the 4th of July fireworks should start at 9 or 9:15, and people will get genuinely heated about it on the local Facebook group, which is, by the way, the real entertainment in any small Jersey town. Forget Netflix. The Clayton Residence page is appointment viewing. It's straightforward value. You get space, you get safety, you get a backyard, you get a town that's not going to give you a heart attack every time you check the crime map. For $349 in this state, that's a clean, honest deal. Not exciting. Excitement is expensive. Stability is on sale. Next, the Shore Region winner, Absecon in Atlantic County, around $347,000 for an average home. If Egg Harbor is the spacious suburb, Absecon is the sweet spot. This is the proof that affordable near the shore still exists in 2026, which most people assume is a myth, like dragons, or a polite driver on the parkway. Absecon sits on the mainland right by Atlantic City, so you get the shore access. The beach is right there. The boardwalk and the casinos and the buffet you'll regret are all a short hop away. And Absecon itself dodges the worst of the flooding because it's not sitting out on the barrier island playing chicken with the tide. And the schools are actually decent, which in New Jersey is the single most expensive thing money can buy. People pay an extra $200,000 in property taxes all the time just for a school district. Absecon gives you a respectable one without the ransom. So you've got shore proximity, you've got schools that won't make you lie at parties, and you've got a price that ends in thousand instead of million. For the shore region, that's a winner. Not a consolation prize, that's a genuine W. Now, back up north is Dover, in Morris County, around $410,000. Now I can already hear you. $410,000? That's the cheap list? You said affordable, you liar. Relax. This is Morris County. In Morris County, 410 is the clearance rack. The towns around Dover are $700,000, $800,000, $900,000 on average, and the people who live in them will tell you about it at a barbecue you didn't want to attend. I'm going to be straight with you about Dover, because if I lie about Dover, you'll never believe anything I say about the pretty towns later. Dover is not the prettiest town on this list. It's not going to end up on a postcard nobody's getting engaged in front of the CVS. It's a little rough around the edges. It's got that working town texture where the buildings have seen some things and would rather not talk about it. But here's why it's on the list, and it's the whole reason. Dover has a train on the Morristown line that takes you into New York City. And it has a downtown that is actually a downtown Blackwell Street, real storefronts, a solid amount of genuinely good, cheap Latino food, taquerias and bakeries where $8 makes you feel like a king. In North Jersey, a town with a train and a downtown and a price that doesn't require a trust fund is almost a contradiction. Dover is just about the only place that pulls off all three. It's not the dream, but it's a deal. There's a difference, and grown-ups know it. Okay, back to South Jersey. We're closing strong. The cheapest town on this entire list is Maple Shade in Burlington County, around $292,000. Hold on. Let me put that in perspective. That is below the national average. The whole country's average is higher than this. In a state where the average house is flirting with $500,000, Maple Shade is sitting here at $292,000, like it didn't get the memo that we're all supposed to be broke. And here's the part that makes it special. Being the cheapest usually means the town's a wasteland. There's nothing there. You bought a house in a parking lot, not Maple Shade. It's still got an actual main street, real businesses, places to eat, a little bit of a downtown pulse, and it's got an easy hop into Philadelphia. Right across the bridge, you're in the city in no time. So Maple Shade is single-handedly destroying the myth that the cheapest option has to be the worst one. Sub 300,000 in this state, with a main street and a city 10 minutes away. That's barely a compromise. That's a glitch in the system, and you should exploit it before everyone else figures it out. Which brings us to the one, the finale, the mic drop. We end with Bordentown in Burlington County, around $325,000. This is arguably the best bang for your buck in the entire state. Bordentown is what happens when a town has everything, and somehow nobody priced it accordingly. Let's start with the history, because this place is dripping with it. Bordentown is a genuine historic town, the kind where Joseph Bonaparte, Napoleon's actual brother, the former King of Spain, moved in and built an estate after the family business of conquering Europe didn't pan out. That's the caliber of resident we're talking about historically. The downtown is small, dense, and genuinely, legitimately walkable. Real brick sidewalks, real old buildings, independent restaurants, bars, antique shops. The whole charming river town package. And then the thing that seals it. Bordentown sits right on the Riverline light rail. That's a train that runs both directions. Down to Camden, where you can connect right over to Philadelphia, and up to Trenton, where you can catch the train to New York. So from this cheap, charming, beautiful little historic town, you can get to two major cities in two directions on a train. Cheap, charming, and connected. You almost never get all three. Usually you pick two and cry about the third. Bordentown gives you all of it for $325,000. That's the complete package. That's the answer when someone asks you where to actually live in New Jersey without going broke or getting your car stolen. So there you have it. The cheapest towns in New Jersey that won't make you hate your life. Affordable and safe. Mostly tucked down in South Jersey where the normal people went, with a few northern surprises hiding in the corners. And understand, this isn't the full list. There's more out there. New Jersey is more affordable than it gets credit for. You just have to know where to look and be willing to point your car south.